Hey, 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 it is an unstoppable day. Welcome to another episode of the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. I'm your host, Terrence, the Unstoppable Coach Leffridge, and I am welcoming you to another great episode, a very special episode, because tonight we are going to be talking to you about the things that we're going to be helping you do to become your best you going into the end of 2021. Yes, we are in the fourth quarter. If you are a football fan, you know we are in the final quarter. We are in the home stretch. If you are a horse race fan, if you are a soccer fan, we are coming down to the final kick. If you know anything about sports, you know that we are in this moment, this defining moment where what you do right now will define who you will be as you finish out 2021 and who you will become as you go into 2022. And our goal here this evening is to help you become the best you possible. And I can't do it alone, so I brought along a great cast, a great team of great speakers and thought leaders that are going to be talking to you about this phenomenal event that we have coming up on November 5th through the 7th, this virtual event called the Becoming the Best You Conference. Yes, we're going to help you overcome obstacles, overcome challenges, overcome your own mind, your own stinking thinking, so that you can move all of that out of the way and move forward in becoming the best you possible. So come on in, like and share. Come on in, like and share. The Unstoppable Story Show is on the air. So let me introduce you to our brainchild for this phenomenal conference. She is a phenomenal woman. She is the founder of the company Things by Bren, and she's got a heart of gold for everybody, for helping them overcome their challenges and teaching them how they can become the best you, just like she's doing in her own life. Let's welcome to the virtual stage none other than the host and the founder of the Becoming the Best You conference, Miss Brenda Ringwood. Hey, Brenda.
Hey, it's Bren. I go by Bren, although Brenda Ringwood is my name. Everything out there is under that, but the people I love, the people who love me, call me Bren. So,
Well, how
Terrence
are you,
is one of
Brenda?
those. So, I wouldn't be where I was today without help, without somebody having some belief in me, without somebody putting their trust in me that I absolutely destroyed in the past. I had no right for that trust. I had no right for them to help me, but they did. And that triggered something in me that I'm not the only one like that. We all have fears and doubts, insecurities, depression, anxiety. We just let all this stuff rule our life, and it stops us from what we really want to do. Not only does it stop us from that, it stops us from who we can be. You can be a remarkable, magical, wonderful person, and you might be, but you could be better. And that's what this event is about. It's going to give you the tools, the motivation, the inspiration to become that person, to take that first step out of that fear, step out of that anxiety, step out of that doubt, step out of the lies that you tell yourself, step away from negative people, step away from the ones who want to see you fail. You don't need those type of folks in your life. You need the people who love you, want to see the best for you, who encourage you. And that's why we call it the Becoming the Best You. The speakers at this event have been through just health issues, death, kidnapping, gangs, just all kinds of things, prison. There are people here who want to share how they overcame with you and the steps that they took to do it. So that's really it in a nutshell, Terrence. Some of these folks are volunteering their time to make sure that you can attend this conference at a very reasonable rate. Friday night's free. You can log in, don't need a credit card. You don't have to give us anything but your email, so we can email you a code so you can log in. Then if you like it, then you can pay for Saturday and Sunday for $59. Very, very, very inexpensive for the amount of people that you're going to get to hear from. There are over 30 people already working on this conference between speakers and entertainment. We have light comedy. We have some musical performances. We have poetry that's going to be read by poets of stuff that they wrote themselves. And then we have speakers who have just blown me away at how they survived what they went through. And now, instead of being angry and bitter and letting fear stop them, they are out in front of it, helping others. And they want to help you.
And that's exactly what we want to do. You heard it from Bryn. We want to help you become your best you. So join us for this virtual conference, November 5th through the 7th. And you can go ahead and start registering right now at comechangeyourlife.com. Just open up another tab and just go ahead and register while you hear these phenomenal speakers. We've got a few that are going to be on the virtual stage between those 3 powerful days in November. So let's bring them up, and then we're going to do some round robin questions. So first, we are going to bring to the stage Shelly Bays. Shelly, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Introduce yourself to our audience and tell them a little bit about you.
I am Shelly Bays, and
the Shelly Bays.
The Shelly Bays.
The Shelly Bays. And I am hailing from Lafayette, Indiana. I'm a transplant here. I actually moved here a little over 8 years ago when I married my now husband. And so I have blended families and gone through that, was married to my first husband for 23 years. And that's actually part of my story of overcoming some challenges. And at the end of that, and it all turns out okay, obviously. But I have been in the business of, my purpose and my mission is to challenge and inspire people to reach higher, to achieve more, and to live their best life, not what someone else thinks they should be living, but what they know to be true to themselves.
Wow, that is great. And you sound like you have a fabulous story that people are definitely going to want to hear about. You know, many times people see us in our glory and they forget about our story. They don't know what we've had to go through to get to the point where people see us at this moment in time. And I think that's important for people to actually see. So thank you for sharing your voice and sharing your talents with us coming up on November 5th through the 7th. But this conference is also international. We have a global reach of attendees because we've got a global reach of speakers. And coming all the way from down under in Australia, we have none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Dean King. Dean, how are you, sir?
Right. As I always say, any better than I'd be dangerous. I'm sensational.
Well, that is great. Introduce yourself to the Unstoppable Stories audience and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, back in 1989, I just finished my last my last prison sentence. I'd done 4 years in prison, and I ended up in a rehabilitation centre with no intentions to change. I'd racked up about 14 years all told being in jail from the age of 13 till 27. And in between that, I was charged with a murder when I was 13. I was in a maximum security jail when I was 14. So, you know, as far as overcoming self-defeated behaviours and attitudes, one could say that the odds were absolutely stacked against me. I hit this rehab in 89, and it was the worst place I had ever been. They were confronting people on attitudes, on behaviours, about how they were conducting themselves in the community. It was a therapeutic community. They were talking about honesty. They were talking about accountability. They were talking about being responsible for what you're doing in the community. All this stuff that I was completely against. I come from an environment of survival, being tough, not showing people any kind of weakness, standing up to the plate, being violent, being aggressive. And after 6 months in this institution, this rehab, which part of the intentions was when I was going there, I was going to steal one of their vans to escape. So that didn't happen. What happened? That they broke me down with this confrontation, and I couldn't handle it. And I broke down and I cried there. And I had never, ever in my life up until then got in touch with any emotions that I could remember other than when I was about 13 or 12. And I cried for 8 hours. And after I finished crying, I had an epiphany. And the epiphany was that I felt at that point in stage, I felt good after I cried. I felt relieved. It was like somebody took off a big coat off my shoulders, and I felt free. I wasn't self-conscious. I wasn't worrying what other people thought of me. I felt really good. And from that stage of crying, I realized that was it. I was never, ever, ever going to go back to the person that I once was. And from that point, I got out of the rehab. I become very successful within myself emotionally because I took accountability for myself. I stopped blaming people for everything. I stopped making excuses for myself. And I got out of that rehab, and I continued with this attitude that I developed in that rehabilitation center. And I had these dreams that I was going to become a multi-millionaire, that I was going to have a beautiful family, that I was going to be loving and caring, and people had the ability to reach me, and I was going to be able to connect with other human beings. And it all came true with hard work. I worked my butt off to create what I created. And I created, within 10 years, I created a $14 million property empire from nothing. I'd never had a job in my life. I was an illiterate. I couldn't read. I couldn't write. And from that intention of being a good person and finding my heart in that rehab, that just turned my life around. So at this meeting, at this conference, I'm here to tell people anything's possible. If anyone wants to make excuses for where they're at in their life, they're fooling themselves. You can become anything you want in your life if you take stock of yourself and don't blame anybody or anything for your dreams and goals.
Man, I think he just said a mouthful right there. If you were on the fence about being a part of this event on November 5th through the 7th, then Dean King just put it down so it would forever stay down. We're helping you not only overcome those obstacles, but we're going to help you be accountable for overcoming those obstacles, because no matter what you have been through and no matter who has done it to you, it's up to you to move past it, move forward, and become your best you, and make every second count while you're doing it. And oh, by the way, if you're having a problem making each one of those seconds count, then we've got you covered there too, because we've got the international Make Every Second Count motivational speaker himself, Mr. Jeff Markinet Jr., who's also going to be on the stage at the Becoming the Best You conference. Hey, Jeff, how are you, sir?
Hey, Terrence, I'm phenomenal. How about yourself?
Man, I'm unstoppable. You know what the tagline says.
Yeah.
Thank you, man, for being back on the show.
No
Many
problem.
of our Unstoppable family know you because you've been on the show many times. But for some of those who might be joining us for the first time, tell them who you are.
Well, my name is Jeff Markinet Jr., as you just said. I hail from the small little town of Piqua, Ohio. I am an author, a speaker, a youth mentor, and an overall badass.
and pretty shy, by the way. As Well, thank you guys. Thank you all for coming on and taking a little bit of time to really talk about this event. So again, you're going to see scrolling across the screen how you can be a part of this event as we talk to our cast this evening. Simply just go on over and register now at comechangeyourlife.com. We've got tickets, $59 to be a part of the virtual attendees on November 5th through the 7th. And remember, Friday night is a bonus night. It is free. Somebody put in the chat, free 99 on Friday night. So you get really motivated. You really get to get a feel for what's going to happen over the following 2 days if you show up on that Friday night, because I guarantee you we are going to show out. So go ahead and register at comechangeyourlife.com. And remember, the event is happening November 5th through the 7th. So now I want to round robin for a little bit. Let's talk about that title, Becoming the Best You. In 1 or 2 sentences, each one of you, I'm going to ask you the same question. What does it mean to you to become the best you? And we'll start in reverse order. Let's start with Jeff, and then we'll go to Dean, then we'll go to Shelly, and we'll end back with Brenda. So Jeff, what does it mean to become the best you?
All right. Becoming the best you, to me, means that taking all that crap, all that adversity, all the challenges that you will face day to day in life, and coming out of them better. Not bitter, but better. And it's all about experiencing those things and learning to conquer those things. When you come out and you're better, you're just thankful, you're just prideful, you're just everything, and you just want to experience life in a new way. And you want to be the best you, because if you aren't the best you, then what are you?
Well said. Well said. Dean, grab that question and let us know what you feel. What does it mean to become the best you?
Well, the what it means to me to become the best me is ever evolving. But I somewhat agree that the best me or the best somebody else is something better than what they are in their life, if that's what they want. I've had dreams to better my life, and I'm 56 now, and the better me now is the level where I'm at now in my life. I want to give back. I want to share more to people. I want to share my experiences with people. You know, I want to connect with more people. So yeah, just connect with more people and to share my experiences. And to walk towards the dreams that I have in my life, which involves other people and supporting other people, and indirectly I get supported when I support other people. You know, so yeah, that's the best me, mate.
I love it. I love that take on how being able to help.
Thank you.
To become.
Has it stalled?
Terrence.
I think Terrence has some internet issues at the moment.
Yeah.
We do too. We have a storm here.
Yeah.
So everything kind of flickered there for a minute.
We lost you, Terrence.
Yeah, I tell people each and every time we do this show, it makes me live up to its name, to be unstoppable. You guys were giving out so many great messages, so many great ideas of what it meant to become your best you, that the internet was blowing up. They didn't want to hear it. So I'm glad that we are staying true and we're not letting anything like a signal stop us. So Shelly, can you hear us now?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what does it mean to you to become your best you?
What it means to me is having the knowledge and gaining the wisdom and discernment to know who you really are. And I kind of alluded to this a little bit ago about whose beliefs are you believing about you, and whose beliefs are you believing about who you should or could be. And on Friday night, I'm going to talk about resilience, because to me, resilience is the ability to bounce back quickly after overcoming challenges. And when we talk resilience, there's so many parts of it, and it all helps us to become who we're supposed to be, that we authentically and truly know who we are inside. But we have to dig down to get to who we really are, because of all the beliefs that we have and hold, as you were talking about mindset, that I call rules, bullshit rules. Those are rules that don't apply to me, but I accept them because I've heard them too often.
Absolutely. And, before we go to Brenda, I just wanted to throw in my 2 cents about what it means to become my best me. And I'll never forget having a conversation with the Les Brown. And he said that many times people would want to compare him to other people. And he had mentors when he was new to the game, and he was comparing himself to them at one point. And someone gave him this best advice. And he said that instead of trying to become the next Zig Ziglar, the next Bob Proctor, concentrate on being the best Les Brown. And I took that to heart, because at that time, Les Brown was like God walking on earth for a speaker in my world. Someone that looked like me and was gracing the stages in coliseums and stadiums all over the world. That's where I wanted to be. And when he said that profound statement to me, I said, you know what? That makes sense, because I have the ability to even be bigger than Les Brown if I focus on being the best me, not the next Les Brown, because there already is one. Who wants to be the next somebody that already exists? Who wants to be a copy when you are already made an original? So I took that to heart, and that's what it means to me. And I think for everybody, you need to understand that becoming the best you is not a destination. It's a journey. Because each and every day when you wake up and the good Lord gives you breath in your body, you have an opportunity to be better than you were the day before. So if yesterday was your best, then today you get to best your best. And each day is a new day for you to become your best you. So that's what I walk in. I walk in the journey of trying to be the best me I can possibly be each and every day. And I think that's probably kind of the reason why you came up with this whole ideal of becoming the best you conference. Could that be true, Brent?
Oh, just a little bit on that side of it. We always try to be what other people are. We want to wear the designer clothes, the shoes, the handbags, the better cars, the bigger house, the better job, because it gives us an image and that appearance that we want people to think that we're somebody that we're really not. Because when you're wearing somebody else's brand, you're not wearing your own brand. So for me, becoming the best you is about challenging yourself to do better every day. And there were some things that happened in my life that put me down, and I was devastated, and it was an eye opener. And I had time, literally, and I'll talk about that at the conference, to focus on changing myself from the inside out. And when I did that, it's like Shelley said, I got to know who I really was and what I really wanted to do in life. So when you find that point, that spot, when you realize that change is needed, and then you implement those changes, you can achieve success and happiness just one little tiny step at a time.
Absolutely. I love it. You guys, we're hanging out with some of the cast of the Becoming the Best You conference, which is going to be taking place on November 5th through the 7th. Want to shout out a couple of people who are joining us right now. We want to shout out Lenora Still Strong Yancey. She said she made it all the way from West Virginia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Evelyn Bethune, she's saying greetings, everyone. Welcome, Evelyn. We thank you for joining us tonight. We want to say hello to Angela, who is joining us from DC. Hey, Angela. And we've got Simone Rowe, aka Miss Unstoppable, in Canada, joining us this evening. So thank you,
and
guys.
she's going to be speaking in November.
And she's going to be
She's holding
speaking
a
in
workshop.
November.
Yes, she is. Mhm.
All right. So welcome, welcome, welcome to our show. Keep those comments coming and go ahead and like and share with your circle of influence, because we're only halfway down the pipe right now. Got a lot more conversation with this fabulous cast that is going to be inspiring you, motivating you, and helping you become the best you possible, November 5th through the 7th. I'm going to keep throwing up the registration so that you can go ahead and get your $59 ticket right now at comechangeyourlife.com. So I'm going to ask this question to our Make Every Second Count expert, because, Jeff, here's the question. Why do you think it's hard for people to make the time to become their best them, the best self?
Well, I think that a lot of people have limited time that they think, but they really don't. You see, we have all these people that depend on us. We have families, a lot of us, and we have to stay strong for them, we think. But I think it's important that we're strong first of all. We have to take care of number one in order to take care of the other people in our life. And it's very
So true,
important.
Jeff. Very true.
It's very important that you do that. And that's part of making every second count. Taking care of number one so you can take care of the people around you.
Very well said. You know, they say, I'm always, when you made that statement, I just started thinking about the stewardess when the flight is about to take off and they're giving you those instructions, and they talk about the face mask that's going to drop down from the sky, and they instruct you to put the mask on yourself first before you help somebody else. Because if you're not at your best, you're not going to be able to help anyone else be at their best. So that's a great message that you just delivered to us, Jeff, by taking the time to take care of yourself so that you can become your best, so that you can help others be their best. But there's also some resilience that you have to have in that process. And if the last 19, 20 months have showed us anything, we had to learn how to pause, how to pivot, how to adapt, and how to be resilient. So Shelley, talk a little bit about how resilience plays a role in becoming your best you.
Well, resilience and the definition of resilience is the ability to bounce back quickly after challenging situations happen in your life. And that's exactly what this entire conference is about, overcoming challenges. And if we can learn some strategies on how to, as Jeff said, I mean, he's alluding to the same thing. We're all talking about the same things here, but we all have a little bit different take on it. And resilient strategies that are about well-being, putting ourselves in a position to lead ourselves well so that we can lead others well. Because here's the bottom line. You are a leader of something. You're either the leader of yourself, the leader of your family, you're a leader at work and the volunteer organizations that you work with, community organizations. And in order to lead others well, you have to be able to lead yourself well. And the biggest thing, and I loved your question to Jeff, because I really believe that most people do not take the time to really work on themselves for two reasons. First, they think it's going to take a lot of time every day, and that is completely untrue. You start with small steps, and then those lead to bigger things. And then the second reason is because I think people are afraid because they don't really know who they are. They have a belief about themselves and they don't even know where they got it. And so unpacking that can be it takes time and effort. But it's so well worth the peace on the other side and the joy of doing that work.
I love that. I love that. Some people don't want to put in the work, and some people don't know who they are. And those are going to be some aspects that we're going to talk about over the course of these 3 days. Because before you can become your best you have to know who you are, and you have to know where you stand at this point in time. And you're going to learn where you are at this point in time is not the end. It's just the beginning. It's not the stopping point. It's just the yield. It's just that yellow flashing light that gives you the opportunity to make the decision on which way you're going to go next. Are you going to go in a direction that keeps you like the hamster in the wheel, doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result? And we all know that definition is called insanity. Or are you going to take the time to listen to some people that know a little bit about overcoming some obstacles? Jeff knows how to overcome obstacles as a result of an accident. Dean knows how to overcome some obstacles as a result of incarceration. Bryn, she knows about overcoming obstacles as a result of incarceration and bad decisions. And even I know how to overcome obstacles because I lost my good government job and I didn't know what was going to happen next. We've been there and now we are here, and we want to help you get to where we are and beyond, because we're learning how to become our best selves each and every day. And we want to share some of that knowledge that we have with you as well. So definitely go on over right now to comechangeyourlife.com. Comechangeyourlife.com. Our $59 tickets gets you 3 days of great information and infotainment, entertainment with a message behind it. So come on, comechangeyourlife.com, and you can be a part of the Becoming the Best You Conference November 5th through the 7th. Go ahead, Jeff. You want to share something?
I just have a question, Terrence. So, how are you going to be helping the people become the best you? And then my second question is, who all is going to be speaking at this event?
Well, I am so glad you asked that. So we're going to answer those questions in the order that you gave them out. See, because I believe that each and every one of us was born with potential inside of us. Deep inside of us, there's something that we were given that we were created to do. We were born for greatness. We were born to make a difference. We were born to help somebody, help somebody, help somebody. But it's up to us to tap into that potential. So I'm going to be talking to you about the 3-step formula to help you tap into your potential, because until you tap into your potential, you're not going to be able to overcome those obstacles. Until you tap into what you're capable of doing, you're not going to know what it's going to take for you to get to the next level of your greatness. Until you tap into that God-given gift that was inside of you, you're not going to know that you already have the resources inside of you to get to wherever it is you were destined to go. And each and every one of us has a destiny. Each and every one of us on this panel, and each and every one of you who are watching us right now, you all were created with a purpose. But far too many times we find ourselves taking our purpose back to the richest place on earth, and that's the cemetery, because we don't tap into our potential. Well, we're going to unlock the keys to helping you tap into your potential so that you can become the best you possible. And so, Bryn, tell them who else we've got coming to entertain them and provide them with inspiration and motivation over those 3 days, November 5th through the 7th.
Well, I tell you what, we have Dr. Ruben West, who is an international speaker. He is an ambassador. He's part of I Change Nations, and he talks about living your best life. And let me tell you, he does this little popcorn skit thing where he talks about the kernel is there and you add the oil, but nothing happens without that fire, without that source of heat. And that's what we want to bring. We want to bring that heat so that you can pop. We have many, many speakers that have overcome medical issues. Myself, I was diagnosed with cancer, went through chemo, radiation, lost all my hair, major surgeries. Life goes on. You overcome it. We also have Jeff, who had a nasty accident. He's going to really talk more about that. We have Toriana Porter. I'm looking at Terrence, who has the loss of a 15-year-old son to gangs. We have folks that have struggled with depression. One of the ladies, her name, Kim Case, was kidnapped, and she survived that and was able to return to her family. And she talks about how she overcame that. And now she goes and she helps victims to overcome that. And she speaks all over about her experience. Dean has this phenomenal book. You want to know more about him, get out there and read his book. And it's called King Hit. And just the stuff that he went through to get where he is today is amazing. It is just phenomenal. We have Dean Storer, who graduated high school at a 3rd grade level, had very much trouble reading and writing, and he's an author and a coach now. He overcame those challenges. He stepped up and stepped out to make the changes. He educated himself in reading and writing, got some help, which there's nothing wrong with getting help, which is what this conference is about. And now he's an author, and he helps other people to do the same, to see their potential. And I could go on and on and on. We have Saucony Prince. Oh my goodness. He's got his own talk show. And he's going to come and share some of his life struggles. We have Dr. Michael Freeland, who has a major medical problem to where one of his legs swells double the size of the other leg. And he didn't let that stop him. He's got a book out, and it's about mindset. It's called Free Your Land. He just had a conference on it. He's going to do these once a year. And he talks about your mental real estate. That is where your potential is. It's right here, and it's right here in your heart. When you can focus on those things, there's nothing you can't do. We have Dr. Lotus Richey. She does some coaching. She does conventions. She does about anything with technology. And she's going to teach you 5 steps that will help you successfully become the best you can be. So there's all kinds of folks out there that can help you. That's just a short version of it.
So basically what you're saying is that no matter what anyone is going through, no matter where anyone has come from, no matter where they are in their life right now, there is somebody on this panel, somebody who's going to take the virtual stage over the course of this weekend that can help them become their best themselves, right? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. We also have Prince Michael, who was homeless, from homeless to a nice career and a best-selling author. You know, you can turn your life around no matter where you are. And if your life is great, but you just want to become a better person or a better boss or a better spouse, come on, come see us.
Absolutely. Like Simone is saying in the room, we are overcomers. And she's saying that when you are overcomers, that makes you unstoppable. I couldn't say it better myself. And this conference is also letting you know that no matter where you live, there's an obstacle you've had to go through. And Dean, you can speak to that because you're 16 hours ahead of us as we speak right now. And your life was not a bed of roses, and you learned your lessons through incarceration to become the magnificent man that you are today. So speak a little bit about that, how what you've been able to overcome makes you no difference than anyone else that's going to be at this event in November.
Well, the first thing I want to say on that is that was my greatest gift, my challenges, my adversity, my heartaches, my struggle, everything that I was living that I hated, everything that I didn't like, all the incarceration, looking through the bars, looking in the mirror, hating myself, hating my appearance, hating everything about my lifestyle, hating my world. If I didn't go through those challenges and all that adversity and all that heartache and all that struggle, I wouldn't have been able to measure any kind of success on. It would have been impossible for me to have visions, for me to use paradoxes, comparisons, learning. It all came from the struggle. So out of the struggle gave me so much opportunity. And I took advantage of the opportunity because I seen the power in it. When I come to a point where I had enough of the struggle and I got to that point where I knew that I could get out, then I could start visualizing freedom. And it was through people like yourselves, you know, optimistic people with different views, people that have had different outlooks, people that had more to offer me than the people that I was living with prior to that. When you're done with a lifestyle that you're sick of, other people will come along and support you. And it's exactly like what this conference is. There is so much opportunity for people who, if they're ready to take advantage of what this conference has to offer them, where they can use it as leverage through the information from each and every one of the speakers there, the people, as Brenda said, who's coming to the conference, who's going to be talking. So it's all here, and it's all here in this conference. You just got to show up. And if you show up, I will guarantee you will get something big out of this. $59, it'll be the best $59 you will ever spend in your life.
Yes.
Yes, I agree. And you know what? We're not just going to give you information. We're not just going to give you inspiration. We're going to have a little bit of fun too, because on Saturday night, we're going to have our virtual Black Tie Gala event. So Brenda, tell them a little bit about the things that we're going to have in store for them on Saturday night at the conference.
Well, on Saturday night, you are going to hear people sing. We have a classical music performance by Morgan Grote. We also have a young woman. It's her second year of college that's going to come and sing, has a beautiful voice, trying to help people get their start. So this will be her first performance like this. She's performed, obviously. But then we have a comedian that's also new. She's been doing it for a while, but she's going to come on for about 10 minutes. Everybody says comedy is extremely hard virtual because you can't see the crowd, but she says she wants to do it. We have two poets that write their own poetry, that go to open mics and just do some sporadic poetry readings. they're going to be on there. Friday night is going to be one of them, and Saturday night's going to be the second one, which is going to be the virtual entertainment. We're going to have some games, and then we're going to have some music and a meet and greet where we can chat and exchange each other's information, encourage each other, and get some connections going on. You know, you might be able to connect with one of these speakers and you can chat with them at this virtual black tie. So there'll be a little bit of a break and you can go get your dinner and then come back and have a wonderful night of entertainment. You're also going to get to hear from Ruben West, who his little spiel, he's going to talk about that popcorn, and you want to hear it. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, so there are a number of reasons why you should have your virtual face in the place all 3 days for the Becoming the Best You conference, November 5th through the 7th. So, hey, I keep telling you, go on over and register right now. ComeChangeYourLife.com. You know, we said the ticket is $59, but here's what we want you to know. The information that you're going to receive is priceless. Mm-hmm. So definitely make your way over to ComeChangeYourLife.com. Go ahead and get your tickets right now. It's the hottest ticket on the internet. So go get yours so that you'll have your face in the place. Great speakers, great inspiration, great information, great entertainment, and all that we need is you to be a part of it so that we can help you on your journey to becoming the best you possible. But now let's let them know that this is not just going to be a one-time event, Brent, right? There's That's something right. more that we've got for this. Tell them a little bit what we've got in store for them in 2022.
Well, in February, we're going to be in person and virtual, but there's nothing like that personal experience to actually see and communicate with people, to dine with them, to network with them. And that's in February in Overland Park, February 11th through the 13th, where we will have a in-person black tie because we're going to celebrate you. We're going to celebrate the changes that you are learning to apply to yourself to overcome. Because when you walk out of that conference, you are going to be changed. You're going to say, I am changed. And that's what we want. You're going to say that after the virtual. But man, there's nothing like connecting with people in person. And then we're going to do it again a couple more times this year in other cities. So you need to watch for it. If you can't come to Kansas City and it's closer to where you live, where these other cities are, watch for it. We might be in your backyard. And we're going to continue to do this because we believe that help is needed. We believe that people need help, and we want to give them that help. We want to give them that push that's going to make them take that first step out of their doubt, out of their worry, out of their fear, out of their anxiety to get moving. Little steps are easier than big steps.
I love it. I love it. So as you guys are looking on your screen, you know, this is not a one-time event. This is just the opening event. So we're going to be doing it virtual November 5th through 7th. ComeChangeYourLife.com. And then once you have started the process of changing your life as a result of this November virtual conference, we want to see your face in person in the place in Kansas City in February, from February 11th through the 13th, so that we can see for ourselves the transformation that took place in 2021 and the coming out party that you're going to be giving us in 2022. We recognize that there are people all over the world that are yearning to become the best them possible. And we know it's our duty to take this not only online, but to take this to cities and states and even countries around the world, because everybody needs this information and everybody needs to know that it's never too late for you to become your best you. But it all starts in less than 3 weeks, you guys, November 5th through the 7th. Online, go on over to ComeChangeYourLife.com and get your $59 tickets right now.
So and Friday's free.
And
if you don't want to pay it, Friday's free.
Absolutely. So as we come down to the end of our show right now, I'm going to give everybody the opportunity to have a last word. And let's just simply talk about why you personally want to see people's faces in the place November 5th through the 7th for the Becoming the Best You event. And I'm gonna let ladies go first. So Bryn or Shelly, either one of you can go first, and then we'll bring up the guys in the rear.
Shelly, you go ahead. I saw you had your hand up.
I did. Thank you. I'm so excited. I'm really very excited about the opportunity to help other people. I mean, that's just what lights my fire. But I just want to reiterate that, those of you that are watching and listening, you heard about some mega-sized challenges that many of the speakers have overcome in their lives. You don't have to have that size of a challenge to be stuck. And the daily grind and the chronic stress that we all have been under, especially the last 18 months, just has a lot of people stuck. And we're here to bring you strategies and inspirational stories of overcoming, but really to help you kick off getting unstuck so that you can move forward in a healthier way, in a way that is true to yourself, so that you are becoming the best you that you can be, so that you can be that for other people and help lead them too. Because this is really, I think, more of this is a phenomenon that we're starting here. If we can help you become better, then you can help someone else. And that really is where things are going to explode.
Love it. Love it. Bryn, why should they come?
I am going to keep it short and sweet. The only person that's keeping you stuck is you. If you're choosing not to help yourself and to get better, it's nobody's fault but your own. And if you're already where you want to be, then don't come to the conference. But I'm telling you, if you're stuck because you're choosing to be. So do something about it. Get unstuck. Let somebody pull you out. It's okay to ask for help. Find those people, get the help, and then become one of them and help somebody else.
And we're going to bring it up to Dean in Australia. Why should they come all the way from down under to this virtual event, November 5th through the 7th?
They deserve it. They deserve it. If anybody out there that's watching this, if you want any form of value more in your life, you deserve to listen to what is on offer at this conference. And only you can arrive at that. I can't get you there. None of the other speakers can get you there. Us speakers, we're compassion. We've got empathy for you guys. Hey, we struggle too in life, but we're probably just a little bit further down the line. Doesn't make us any better, doesn't make us any worse. We understand, and do it for yourself. Show up, take a risk, take a chance, and I'll guarantee you will not be disappointed.
I love it. And no matter if you're in a big country, a big city, or a small town like Jeff, there's an opportunity for you to become the best you. So Jeff, why should they be at this event November 5th through the 7th?
Well, pretty simple. You have one life to live. Why not make it the best life it can be?
That's what I love. He makes every second count and uses few words to do it. Absolutely. I couldn't say it any better. So if you are stuck and you're ready to be unstoppable, if you are in a rut and you want to be resilient, if you know that there are more things left for you to have, to do, and to be, and you know that the time is now for you to do it, then go ahead and go on over to that link, comechangeyourlife.com, because we guarantee that if you take the first step and register, you will be well on your way to a life-changing experience that's going to change your life for the better so that you can live your best life. So let me put, as I put the banner up again, go on over to comechangeyourlife.com for the Becoming the Best You conference, November 5th through the 7th. Friday night is free. Saturday night, we're going to have the virtual Black Tie Gala. And Sunday, we're going to have even more inspiration and great conversation from our speakers that are going to be there on Sunday. So you've got 3 powerhouse days to help you start your journey or complete your journey to becoming your best you. So any final thoughts, Brenda, before we call this a show?
I want to meet all of you. I want to see the changes in your life. I want to see you be successful. I want to see you be happy. I want to see you reach those goals. Don't dream your life. Live your dream.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brenda, for putting this great thing together. That's Brenda Ringwood. She is the founder and the host of the Becoming the Best You conference, November 5th through the 7th. I also want to thank Shelly Bays, Dean King, and Jeff Markinet Jr. for joining us here on the Unstoppable Story Show, our special edition talking about the Becoming the Best You conference. You know, I said it before. Don't focus on being the next whoever, because they're already there. You were created with a purpose, and there's only one you. So make it the best you possible. And we'll see you online November 5th through the 7th at the Becoming the Best You conference. Go on over once again to comechangeyourlife.com. Get your $59 ticket. Let's shout out a couple of people that have been watching us. Corey Fox has been watching us. Thank you, Corey. A dream is just a dream until it's put into action. Yes, indeed. So put some action behind that dream and go get that ticket. Not now.
And Corey is one of the panelists.
Corey, definitely. Come on, check Corey out, one of the panelists. We're going to have panel discussions Saturday afternoon. So you definitely want to be there. Lots and lots of inspiration, lots and lots of stories. And again, as I said earlier, the only thing we're missing is you. So we want to see you. And as always, thank you always for joining us here on the Unstoppable Story Show, where we talk to ordinary people with unstoppable stories. And we help you focus on what you're able to do and less on what's stopping you. If you want to be a guest on the Unstoppable Story Show, well, you know all you need to do. Go on and send me an email over at tluffridge@unstoppablecoaching.com or hit our website at unstoppablecoaching.com. And as always, no matter wherever you are in the world today, you know what I say. Don't just make it a great day. Go out and start the process by getting your ticket to becoming the best you possible. And if you will do that, then I know for sure it's gonna be an unstoppable day. Take care, family.